Welcome to this energy assessment review video. Now, we're going to review several of the things that are going to be on the test. And one of the first things I want to review is this right here. What I'd like you to do is think about this. You can pause the video after the directions. Rearrange these sentences to show how electricity is generated. So here's all the steps in the process that creates electricity. Can you pause the video, rearrange these, and then we'll go through them together to see if you're correct. So, you have had a chance. Now, when we look at these things, let's just work through them logically. When you look at all these things, the first thing you have to start out with is a fuel that's going to be burned. Now, this could be nuclear and nuclear reaction as well. But when it comes to coal, oil, and natural gas, it's got to be burned first. And when you burn it, what are you burning it for? To produce heat. And that heat is used to boil the water. Now, why are you boiling the water? You're doing it to create steam. Okay, so now you have steam. Now the steam will drive the turbine drives a generator, and the generator produces electricity. Now, did you see anything that looks a little different or odd about this for the most part? For example, this first one doesn't really match up well, but did you notice that there's water, steam, turbine, and generator? As long as you put them in order, it should match up. The only one that won't is this one right here as it relates to this. But when you burn something, it does produce heat. So these are the steps in creating electricity. So make sure you know this for the test. Now, here's one of the short answer questions. Explain the difference between renewable and non-renewable. And you guys know this. Renewable resources are those that are easily replenished in short periods of time. For example, solar energy, geothermal, hydropower, wind power, biomass. Non-renewables can be replaced, but not in a very quick time. For example, coal may take millions of years, and other things may, well, Here's a good way of looking at it. Non-renewables cannot easily be replenished in our lifetime. It's going to take many, many more years than that to happen. All these, well, once uranium is gone, it's gone. Petroleum would take many, many years. Some scientists are saying millions of years to replenish. Now, this short answer question, explain the challenge of the U.S. importing about 50% of our oil from foreign countries. Now, this is something we haven't specifically gone over, but this is one of those questions I really want to see how you answer this. How are you going to go about it? And we've talked about the United States using a lot of electricity. There's a lot of demand. There's a lot of demand for energy, a lot of demand for gasoline. So here's one way you can answer it. The challenges of the U.S. importing oil from foreign countries include the fact that they directly control our economy. They may cut us off from their oil, which will shut our economy down and send us into a recession. We are sending billions of dollars per year to countries that may not necessarily have our best interests in mind. We're sending billions of dollars per year out of our economy. So you can look at it from an economic standpoint, which is what I did with part of it. The other part, which I kind of allude to up here, is they really control what we do. If certain countries would just say, we're not going to send you any oil, our economy would go in a tailspin because we need oil, we run on oil. And this really brings up the need or the importance for alternatives. Explain 2 solutions to the U.S. becoming independent from foreign oil. And some of you gave topics on biofuels such as biodiesel. Some of you talked about hybrids, which is a type of electric car that also uses gasoline as well. So we need to develop more alternative fuels and/or vehicles such as biofuels and electric cars to reduce our dependence on foreign oil. And we should use our resources wisely. We have a lot of coal. We have a lot of things out there. We have a lot of oil in the United States. It's just that we use so much of it that it's not enough. We need to conserve, use things wisely. So when it says 2 solutions, these are 2 really excellent ways. Keep looking at alternatives, and we're pretty good at that here in the United States, and start to think about using our resources as wisely as we can. This next question, explain how having a high insulation R value results in energy savings for a Wisconsin home. And we've talked about this in our solar home lab. Having a high R value results in energy savings in Wisconsin by keeping cold air out of a house and warm air in. So in the wintertime, if you have a house, we want to keep the cold air out, we want to keep the warm air in. We don't want the transfer of energy. And in the summertime, it's actually just the opposite. We want to keep the cool air in that we use to, we air condition our houses. We want to keep the hot, moist air out. So having a high R value definitely saves us money here in Wisconsin. Now this question, explain 2 negative consequences for Wisconsin that may be associated with generating electricity by burning coal. Well, the group that presented on coal each hour talked about the effects on the environment by burning coal, and they talked about disadvantages. One, coal is non-renewable. It's only going to last for so many years. And we are blessed. We do have a lot of coal here in the United States, but it's still not going to last forever. It will run out eventually. So that's definitely a negative consequence. And here in Wisconsin, we don't have any coal. All of our coal is imported from out of state. And so that does cost us more money because we have to transfer that coal here. We have to transport it here so that we can burn it in our power plants. Also, coal pollutes the environment. When burned, it gives off air pollution. Mining of coal will also cause damage to the environment. So 2 possible negative consequences. One, it's not renewable. Secondly, it pollutes in all aspects of it. From the time we mine it out, it's going to wreck the environment, and those lands are going to have to be reclaimed, or when we burn it, it pollutes the environment as well. And this last question I want to talk about in this video is, why is it important to discuss using energy resources wisely while working to develop resources other than fossil fuels? Again, did we talk about this question directly in class? No. But I want to know how you're going to answer this. This is one of those higher order questions. Can you take everything that we learned about energy and can you apply it to your lives? So why is it important to discuss using energy resources wisely while working on developing resources other than fossil fuels? Because we know fossil fuels are all limited. They're all non-renewable. They're all going to run out. So why is it important to discuss using energy resources wisely while trying to develop alternatives? Well, first of all, we need to discuss using energy sources wisely because we are running out of oil and natural gas. We need to develop other resources to prolong our use of fossil fuels. Get that? To prolong. We want to use it wisely so we have it around as often or as long as we can. Biofuels, electric vehicles, and mass transportation can help us extend fossil fuels. So yeah, fossil fuels still will be around for a while. They're not going to run out tomorrow, but eventually they will. So can we prolong their use by developing alternatives, using them wisely? And then we are able to reduce pollution and greenhouse gases by using fewer fossil fuels. The burning of fossil fuels contributes to SOxes and oxides. Those are sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere, which lead to acid rain. So by switching over to alternatives, we can also help reduce pollution and greenhouse gases. So it's kind of a win-win. If we can develop alternatives, we can use these alternative fuels longer, and that's key. A lot of people just say gasoline's not good, it's evil, it's bad. Well, gasoline has powered our economy for hundreds and hundreds of years. And the same thing, well, maybe not hundreds and hundreds, but at least hundreds of years, a little over 100 years that we've been using gasoline. And coal's been around for a long, long time too, and hopefully it'll be around for a long time into the future. So we just have to use things wisely, and we have to continue to use alternatives. That's one thing that's great about the United States, is that we usually are pretty good at problem solving. So we just continue to need to problem solve. So this was just a quick video, definitely under 10 minutes long. I would highly suggest you watch this a couple times, go through these questions several times. So when you see them on a test, you'll have no problems answering these questions. As always, if you have any questions, please see me in class. Thanks. Bye.